In this example, we're going to be conducting a night security perimeter check around a construction site using the Matrice 4T. As we move through this workflow, we're going to review how Pilot 2 features can support low light visibility, target verification, situational awareness, and a more repeatable patrol process. We're going to start with the camera setup. First, we can review the camera storage settings by selecting the CVI button on screen and make sure the system is saving the right type of footage for the mission. In a security workflow, that matters because the operator may want to prioritize visible footage, thermal footage, or both for later review and documentation. We can also enable pre-record before beginning the patrol. To access that, switch the camera to video mode, open the camera settings, then go to the pre-record option. Pre-record is useful in a security scenario because if an event may begin before the operator has time to react and press record, the pre-record enabled, the system will automatically save footage from just before the record button is pressed, helping capture the start of an event instead of only what happens after the operator responds. Next, we can look at electronic dehazing. This is useful when visibility is being affected not only by darkness, but also by haze, humidity, or glare from surrounding lights. In the settings, we can turn on electronic dehazing on or off, and we can also adjust the level between low, medium, and high, depending on conditions. This can help improve image clarity when the scene looks washed out or less defined. Now let's move into night scene settings. In the camera settings under the ... we can open night scene mode on the visual camera. We can also use the moon button for an easy shortcut. Here, we can choose between auto, off, and on. This is one of the first things to check because it directly affects how well the operator can see in darker parts of the site. Auto allows the system to respond based on lighting conditions, while on keeps the feature enabled manually for a more consistent viewing experience throughout the patrol. We can also adjust the night scene level. This setting specifically changes the frame rate, or FPS, which stands for frames per second. Increasing the night scene level shows the frame rate down, allowing the camera to apply stronger low light processing and present a brighter image in darker environments. In practice, that means the image may appear brighter, but motion can look a lot less smooth. During a perimeter patrol, that trade-off matters. If the operator is scanning a very dark section of a fence line or roadway, a stronger setting may help brighten the scene. If the operator is trying to observe movement more smoothly, they should understand that increasing the night scene level may reduce live view smoothness. For general observation, we'll begin with the wide camera. The wide view is very useful for maintaining situational awareness and scanning larger portions of the property more efficiently. If we reach a darker section and need closer visual verification, we can switch to the telecamera and return to the night scene options. On the telelens, we can enable the IR cut filter setting. When this happens, the image will shift into black and white, which helps the operator prioritize visibility over natural color. This is useful when the goal is to identify shapes, movement, fencing, vehicles, or other structures in a very dark area. Wider lens do not support the engaging IR cut filter in the same way, but instead mainly rely on slowing the frame rate to improve low light performance. Note that the IR cut filter only works for 7x zoom or more. If the area is still too dark, we could turn on the NIR light. NIR stands for near infrared illumination, or IR spotlight for short. This helps add illumination in areas with very limited ambient light. It is also important to note that the IR spotlight effect is only visible when the IR cut filter settings has been turned on and the IR cut filter has been engaged. If we notice possible activity, we can move from general scanning into closer verification by using the zoom camera together with the thermal camera. The zoom camera helps inspect the scene visually and in context, while the thermal camera helps detect heat signatures that may stand out in low light conditions. To support that verification step, we can use side-by-side view. This makes it easier to compare the visual and thermal feeds at the same time, which can help the operator verify whether a subject of interest in the visible image also stands out thermally. Depending on the situation, the optional spotlight or speaker attachment can also be useful options to support the response, such as illuminating the area, identifying the target more clearly, or communicating instructions from the air. As the patrol continues, we can also use AI tools to search for specific subjects of interest while the aircraft keeps covering the site. This helps support the operator by automatically monitoring the scene during the patrol, instead of relying only on manual observation. Once AI is enabled, the operator can choose which algorithm to use. Depending on the setup, that may be visual light algorithm, infrared algorithm, or even an uploaded algorithm if a custom one has been added. It is important to understand here that different algorithms rely on different sensor feeds. One uses the visual camera feed, while the other uses the thermal feed. For example, in brighter scenes, the visual light algorithm may be more appropriate, while in darker environments, the thermal-based option may provide an advantage. This gives the operator flexibility based on the environment and the type of target that they are trying to detect. The operator can also adjust the confidence level. In general, the higher confidence setting improves detection accuracy, but may reduce the total number of detections. A lower confidence setting may catch more possible targets, but it can also increase false alarms. So this should be adjusted based on the patrol objective and how sensitive the search needs to be. From there, the alert switch can be enabled. When this is turned on, the system can trigger an alert and take a snapshot when a subject of interest is detected. The operator can also define the detection and alert conditions by choosing target types such as people, vehicles, or boats, along with the threshold for an alert should be triggered. To reduce repeat notifications for the same subject, the alert interval can also be adjusted. This is useful during long patrols or in situations where a person or vehicle stays in view for an extended period of time. Finally, the alert notification method determines how the operator will be notified when a detection is made. Once activity is identified, we can move into Smart Track. Here, the operator can tap and drag to select a target, such as a vehicle or person, and the camera will automatically pan and follow that subject. This helps the operator maintain focus on the target while continuing to assess the surrounding area. We can also use Observe View. By selecting the record button in the bottom left, this feature helps improve overall situational awareness during manual flight. Observe View is a map-based visual aid that shows where the camera has already looked during the flight. This is useful during perimeter patrols because it helps the pilot confirm which fence lines, gates, rooftops, parking lots, or other areas have already been visually checked. In practice, this helps reduce missed areas and unnecessarily repeated scans, which becomes especially valuable during nighttime patrols or alarm response scenarios. Along with that, we have AR Street View. This can provide additional ground level context. This helps the operator better understand how the area being observed relates to nearby roads, buildings, gates, and other site features, while also making it easier to communicate location information clearly. If more detail is needed, those AR display options can be adjusted by selecting the settings icon in the upper right, then going to flight settings, AR, and AR street display settings. From there, the operator can choose several display options depending on the scene. Landmark displays adds labeled reference points, which is useful when identifying important structures or orienting around a larger site. Road network displays overlays nearby roads and street layout, which helps when understanding the access routes or describing where activity is occurring. Opacity helps how bold or transparent the AR overlay appears, so the operator can balance map information with the clear live camera view. Altitude offset helps fine-tune the alignment of the AR overlay if the labels or road information do not line up correctly with the scene. These settings can be adjusted based on how much reference information is needed without overcrowding the screen. Finally, once the workflow is understood, we can tie these tools together with an automated patrol route. This makes the mission more structured and repeatable. It is also helpful to distinguish between these different approaches. Cruise control is useful when an operator wants to set a steady speed and then simply steer the drone, making manual patrol smoother and easier to manage. To use this, start flying the drone at a desired speed, then press the C1 button to lock in that speed. A waypoint route is useful for covering a perimeter path in a more structured and repeatable way. A patrol route is more approachable when the goal is to automate coverage of the entire property while also applying integrated detection settings during the mission. In the patrol and waypoint route setup, we can define the triggered action, such as taking a photo, recording video when a detection occurs. After that, we can adjust altitude and finalize the mission settings before saving and starting the route. As the patrol runs, the aircraft can automatically follow the designated route and scan for the selected subject. If a target is detected, the configured action can be triggered automatically. One important detail here is that the operator should confirm the patrol settings match the intended night workflow. For example, if the mission is meant to demonstrate night operations, night scene should be enabled appropriately, and the operator should be aware of any warning messages, especially if the route is still using the visual light recognition in a situation where that may not match the intended low light use case. Together, these features help make night perimeter checks more effective by improving low light visibility, supporting better target verification, increasing situational awareness, and creating a more consistent patrol workflow.